Hello, my loves. How we doing, my spiritually savage family? How y'all doing? Now, I just posted a video earlier today, and y'all saw my mood, right? Y'all saw it. The skin is on fleek, the smile is just bright, and I'm just chilling, right? As I have always been. So, let me give y'all some background. And if look at the title, it says I'm too compassionate, I'm too loving, and always too positive, sometimes for my own good. Okay. So the other day, when I was coming back from doing some business, I had the idea to stop by my brother's house because I haven't seen my nieces and nephews in a minute, right? I haven't seen them in a second. And I was thinking about going by there, but gas was low. And I was like, nah, you know what? Put yourself first, meaning your gas, and just keep it moving. So I did that. So fast forward to today, and I kind of felt guilty about it, right? Not guilty like, oh, I should have done it, but just something was there. Like I was being called to go there. That's what I thought. Okay, okay. So today, I'm on my way to wash clothes, and I get the feeling again. I haven't seen my niece in there, especially my the baby, my little Zai baby. And so I'm like, okay, now mind you, I think I did talk to you guys because we family, y'all my friends, y'all my family, y'all the true family, because it ain't about the blood, it's about spirituality, right? And I know I mentioned to y'all before, and if maybe not, but I know I wrote it. I wrote it in my journal that the last time my brother was here, he was in the garage and didn't say anything to me. You see me sitting outside, looked me dead in the face, didn't say nothing to me, right? So I didn't think anything of that part. So on my way to go wash clothes today, I'm like, I'm gonna stop by. I'm gonna stop by. Okay. Now we always looking out for signs and wonders and all that good stuff, because how God talks to us. And so I seen a sign that said cook. Okay. Bear with me. Now that is his wife's maiden name. So okay, I'm like, okay. And so then I seen two cars, y'all, back to back that said the word rue on it. RUE. Said rue. Now, in my head, rue means street or like highway, like that. But something told me to Google it. Something told me to Google it, right? And I wrote it down. I wrote it down in my journal, y'all. Because this shit was so crazy. It was like I was having an out of body experience and I was watching it. I wasn't affected or anything by it, but it was just like, okay, God. So, anywho, hold on. Let me get my journal book out. Let me get my dream book out, y'all. 'Cause this was crazy. This was so crazy. This was crazy. So, um, oh, hold on. That's just a sign that I need to keep going, right? So, um, so let me, okay, so anyway, I see the sign and it says rue. And so I'm like, okay, that means street. So, you mind trying to put things together because I love puzzles and all that stuff. And so, but some told me to Google what the word rue mean. Okay. Just Google the definition. And so I Googled the definition. And the definition said, listen, y'all, listen. Hold on, let me find it. Okay. So the dictionary defines the word bitterly regret something one has done or allowed to happen. And I put LOL. And I should have taken that as a hint, but I didn't because that was not my first thought. And I'm learning to go with my instinct and go with my intuition and learning to rely on my spiritual guides and God to guide me. So that should have told me something, right? And it made me pause, but it didn't stop me. And matter of fact, it just fueled it. Because right after that, I said, I mean, I seen it. I said, okay, let me put it in order. I seen the sign roof first. And I'm like, okay, straight, go. And then I seen the name Cook. So I'm like, okay, that was a sign for me to go. Sometimes it's not a sign to go. Sometimes it's a sign to pause, stop, and breathe, right? So I make a beeline over there. And matter of fact, I decided to go there first before I go wash clothes. Okay, cool. So as I'm pulling in, I see my niece walking and I give her a kiss. She on her way to the store. Cool. So I pull up. And my brother's like, "Oh, you look like a stranger." I said, "No, you the stranger." And I started laughing. So I go in, I was like, "Where my baby's at?" And he was like, "The girl's not here." "Okay, where the girl's at?" Da, 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 da. So I give all my nephews a hug, and a kiss. I miss them. And I walk through the house. He walk into his room. I walk in the room with him, and then he walks outside on the patio. So I go outside on the patio. Now I'm watching him. We just sitting there chilling, talking, shooting the shit. And he was like, "You didn't go to the funeral. We had somebody pass." And I was like, I don't do funerals, but I told her. So he's giving me the whoop on what happened and blah, 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 blah. So now we've been talking for like 5 minutes. I'm watching him roll a blunt. First one he rolled, the paper was messed up. So he wound up checking it. Now I'm giving you all this backdrop because you can see what happened after. Okay. So he's sitting down and he rolling the second blunt. And I'm watching him. I'm watching him break the weed up or blah, 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 and put it in there. And so then he asked me, "Who car you got?" And I said, "Mine." He said, "Okay." He said, "Don't say it like I'm supposed to know." I said, "I didn't." He said, "You just looked me up and down." And I said, "I didn't look you up and down." I said, "I was looking in your hand." Okay. Mind you, y'all know that girl stopped smoking, right? So, and it ain't been that long, but it's been long enough. So I was literally looking at the blunt like, okay, you don't need it. You don't, this, I'm having this dialogue in my head. So I really wasn't looking him up and down. I didn't say it like he was supposed to know because I knew he wasn't supposed to know because I don't tell my business. Ain't nobody in this house asked me about the car, even though I know they talk about it, but ain't nobody asked me, right? Okay. So I'd say, now my homegirl, blah, 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 but it's mine while I got it. Da, da, da. Y'all know the story because I keep y'all abreast, right? So I say something like, "Yo, why you ain't say hi to me the last time you was at the house?" And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I said, you didn't even say nothing last time you was at the house." So he went on throughout this story. First he said, what did he say? Because I wrote it down. Now I can't quite remember. Um, what did he say first? Anyway, it was bullcrap. First it was like, he said something like, "Well, you ain't say nothing to me." I said, "I didn't even know you was here." But that was the last I said. First it was what did he say? "You was only outside for 2 seconds." That's what he said. And I was like, "No, I wasn't." I said I was outside long enough for you to come. And I thought he lifted up the garage, but he was like, "No, the garage was already lifted." "Okay, well, you put your hands up there." "Okay, you put your hands up." I said, "I was out there long enough for you to put your hands on the garage. You looked me dead in my face, looked away, looked at me again, stared at me for a minute, and then you went on into the garage and started doing and talking whatever you was talking." So I went out there for no 2 seconds. Okay. Then after I said no, after I said no, I was out here long enough for you to do this, that, and the third. Then he come back with, "Well, you ain't say nothing to me." "Well, nigga, I didn't even know you was here. I didn't even know you was here." And he was like, "Well, I wasn't supposed to be. I had to come up here because I was told to come up here." "Okay, I was told to come up here to make sure nothing happened." And I'm at a loss for words. So I'm like, "Well, what are you talking about?" I said, "Well, let clue me in." I said, "Because I live in the house and I don't know what you're talking about. Supposedly, I was supposed to be getting into a fight or a beef or whatever with my niece or whatever. I don't know." Because, like I said, and I told my sister a month ago, I'm not fighting no child, blah, 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 blah. I'm sitting here minding my business, blah, blah. So he starts getting heated. And I'm like, "Okay, well, why are you yelling? Why are you yelling?" And I'm like, "Well, you didn't have to come up there." No, I said, "Well, tell me what's going on." I said, "Because I live in the house and I don't know what's going on." And he was like, "Well, I was told to come up there to make sure this, that, and the third, whoop, whoop, whoop." And I'm like, "Well, what?" I said, "Because I'm in the house and ain't nobody said nothing to me." I said, "So what's going on?" And so he proceeds to tell me. And I said, "Well, who told you to come up here?" I said, "Who told you? Who told you to come up here to make sure don't nothing happen or whatever?" Okay. Now the crazy part about it, y'all, is that I ain't had a fight in years. I'm not even in that energy. I'm not fighting nobody. It makes no sense to fight anybody. Okay. People around are walking around mad and angry. I'm not. I'm minding my business unless you be disrespectful to me. I don't have nothing to say to anybody. I'm cordial. I'm nice. "Hey, how you doing?" Blah, 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 blah. You don't talk to me. I don't talk to you. That's how it is. Right. So I'm confused as to how he gets a call about coming up here to stop whatever's supposed to have been going on that I don't know anything about. And he said his mama called him. Our mama called. Okay, well, what the fuck happened? So he get a call from his sister. He called his sister and his mama, and they like go up there. And I'm like, okay, now mind y'all, all this is going on, and I have no clue. I have not a freaking clue on what's going on, right? Okay. So I'm like, well, just to let you know, I'm chilling. I'm cool. I'm cool like a fan. I'm minding my business. And unless anybody disrespectful me, I don't have anything to say. So he was like, well, I don't want to hear nothing about it. I don't want to hear nothing. If it ain't about you, I said, well, I am telling you about me. I'm telling you about me. I ain't got nothing to say about nobody else because I don't know what's going on with anybody else. I said, but I'm letting you know. Your sister is letting you know that I ain't fighting nobody. I don't care. I'm minding my business. And so I'm like, he was like, well, check this out. And he starts going off. Okay, well, whatever. I don't even care. So I'm about to get ready to go. And now, mind you, you no. I said, well, I didn't even know. Then he talk about, well, I just heard you got a phone and you ain't even called me. Yo, bro, you come up here all the time and don't say shit to me. So why would I call you? And then I'm like, the phone was for business purposes anyway. If I didn't need it to call, and I shouldn't have got it because now it's like, oh, I got you a phone, and now you're telling everybody you got me a phone. Okay, cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Anywho, so I'm like, well, let me go. I said, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I said, I love you. Have a blessed day. Or I said, stay blessed. Yo, when I tell you he hit the fan, he hit the whole fan. Like, don't be sarcastic. And I'm like, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm very genuine. I know you. I know when you being sarcastic. Don't fucking be sarcastic to me and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting here and I was literally about to explain what brought me there because I seen the sign and I was thinking about him and blah, blah, blah. God told me to shut up and just keep it moving. So I'm like, I wasn't. And he was like, yes, you was. And blah. And he was like, it's dead. It's dead. That was my cue to just move on, move around. Right. And so I'm laughing. I'm in the car and I'm laughing. Of course, I'm talking to my daddy. And I'm like, okay, daddy, that's your son. That's your son. And I say to God, okay, you know what, God? You got it. You got it. And I start laughing to myself. I'm like, damn, I can't even check on nobody. I can't even check to see how people do it because I get twisted like I done did some shit. Like I done did some shit. Now, mind you, it's a whole rumor mill going on through the family that I'm about to fight, that I'm about to do this, I'm about to do that, or whatever the case may have been. I don't know because it wasn't explained to me. No one had talked to me. No one said nothing. And I'm like, so I'm telling him, I'm like, well, you ain't got to come up here for nothing. I said, because I'm not fighting. You don't tell me what I got to do. You can't tell me what the fuck to do. I'm like, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just letting you know that if you was coming up here to squash a beef, it ain't no beef because I'm not doing anything. And I'm still laughing. Yo, this dude just went all the way off the hand. Mind you, no one talks to me. No one says anything to me. No one asks questions. No one says anything. But it don't went from my mama to my sister to my brother. And no one had the courtesy or the decency to call me and say, hey, what's going on? No. Why? Because I'm enemy number one. And that's cool though. That's cool. That's what black magic looks like. Okay. This just story time. It's funny, but it's some real shit that goes down. So you may be experiencing this in your life too, where you are the scapegoat. Now, I refuse to be the scapegoat for anybody's trauma, anybody's problems, anybody, anything. So what that just told me was, well, I was at a loss for words. And I'm in a car on the way, and I'm like, God, I can't even look up. I can't even check on nobody. I can't check on nobody. Okay. Okay. That's why I wrote, I'm too compassionate, I'm too loving, and I'm too positive. Because that's all that I was thinking of. Literally, I'm thinking that the signs that I seen brought me there. Because I'm like, because I didn't go the last time, right? Like, don't let shit interfere with who you are as a person. You love your nieces and nephews, they babies. Go check up on them. I'm not even gonna say that that was the wrong thing to do. I'm not bitter about it. It wasn't nothing that, like I'm not even mad about it. It just was another nail in the coffin for me to just do what I need to do. That is all. But I thought that was so crazy how y'all just see me get up this morning, right? Y'all see me get up this morning. Y'all see me smiling, and I'm still smiling. It ain't take nothing on me, but it did put some shit in motion. And I do appreciate that. So I say all that to say every sign you see is not a sign to move forward, y'all. And y'all know I'm still learning this. As I learn, I teach. As I teach, I learn. So I am learning. I am like, because I really did think it was a sign for me to go check up on them. Like, okay, but hindsight 2020, they know I'm here. It just was another sign to know that a whole bunch of shit going on in the backdrop that I don't know anything about. Okay. I didn't even know all that shit happened. I didn't even know you came over here for what? What was you gonna do? What was you gonna do? I didn't even understand that. I didn't understand that, y'all. So I say the family because they're not family. They don't operate as a family. They don't treat me like I'm family. So it's time for me to make my exit. Deuces. Namaste, Ashe, Mazel Tov, my loves, Mazel Tov.